What is up, everybody? This is Mason with the Next Guy Up podcast. I got Tinsley here. This is the Next Guy Up company is such a successful company that we have PTO. So Zach is cashing in his PTO for today. I cashed mine in last week. It's just a busy holiday season, So me and Tins holding down the fort. I appreciate you guys holding down the fort last week's
on
or last episode.
Sunday.
Yeah. So how's everything going, Tens? I know you've
Good.
been busy. Yeah,
Been very busy. Yeah, UPS is busy right now. Some say I'm Santa Claus. I'm bringing everybody their Christmas presents. I'm out in the country, and it's great. I don't have cell phone service for like the majority of my day on this new route that I started, and so I get like just randomly things will just like I'll hit a good LTE pocket, I guess, and I'll get like ton of
blown up.
texts, Twitter notifications, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and I'll take my lunch break while I'm in that area and kind of catch up on everything, and then go right back to it. But yeah, no, it's been crazy. A
I
lot
can kind
going
of
on.
tell. Yeah, I bet I can tell probably when you're in dead zones because Zach could probably chime in on this if he was here. But we're all in like several different group texts together. We
Yeah.
got fancy football group texts, like just like the pod group text, and I'm like, oh, he's been silent for a while. He's definitely like obviously working is important, but
Meh.
he's definitely in a dead zone where he doesn't have service, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, because
But
I'm a very quick texter. Like I think
you
I think that is some like a quality of mine where like if you text me, I'm going to text back.
for
I hate
sure.
having notifications on my phone. So like the minute I see one, I'm like, okay, I have to figure out like what that is and make it go away.
He's also the Adam Schefter of like all the group texts of just like breaking news too. So
It's true.
if I don't hear about it like from tens, I'm like, oh, he must be like off the map right now, off the grid.
Yeah, me and Josh, shout out Josh, friend of the program. Me and him like I think have a quiet competition during NFL free agency to see who can like send in the text first of who is signing where. Like that day, going back to like when I was working at Blue Coast, because that would be like when I was working there, and I'd just be on my phone all day. I'm like, wow, I have not really accomplished a lot in this kitchen today because I have been texting about NFL free agency, but
My
it's
favorite thing
fine.
is when two get sent right at the exact same time, and whoever sent it, like it came in first, you're like sniped them or got
Yeah.
them or try quicker next time. There's always that type of
Yeah,
text.
I like
So
that GIF. The GIF with the guy with the dollar, and he's like, "Oh, got to be quicker than that."
yeah,
That's normally the one
that's
I
when you
send.
send. Yeah, so like I brought up a minute ago, the guys held down the fort while I was gone, but they touched on a subject that I wanted to bring up because I wasn't here. I wanted to bring up a little bit of it, and that was the Juan Soto. They talked about the contract that broke the internet,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so curious. So Zach, I once again wish Zach was here. Zach likes to do this thing where when someone signs a contract, he's like, think about how many years it would take me to make that
Yeah,
amount of money. And so for purposes, I was like, you know what? And I wanted him to double check my math because we call him Dr. Math. He used to be a math teacher, he's
he
good at
has a
math.
master's
But
degree in math.
I literally like double check this. I did the math on my own and double check this, but I was curious of how long it would take. So if you don't know or missed last week's episode, he signed for $765 million for a 15-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to even go into it
Insane.
more, there's other like things to it, like guaranteed money. It's all guaranteed, right? But there's even
Yeah,
like
baseballs
certain.
are the way they do it. Deferments like Shohei Otani's contract is in deferments right now, and essentially the way it's set up is he's getting paid $2 million a year until it hits like year 10, and then he'll start getting the fat lump sum money. And the reason is because he essentially is saying, by then I'm not going to live in California. I don't want to pay the taxes on that. So that's why a lot of times they'll have deferments and things like that in their
Yeah.
contract.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so for the purposes of this here that I came up with, Let's just focus on the 765 million for the 15 years. Tens, and I hope
Mhm.
this isn't too personal. Have you ever worked for minimum wage?
I have not
Like ever?
actually. No,
Yeah,
I've
I've
not.
been lucky enough to like also I probably like my first couple jobs was like 8.59 something like that. Minimum wage in the state of Tennessee is 7.25. If you were to make minimum
That's crazy.
wage for and work 40 hours a week, it would take you 50,727 years to make the same amount of money that Juan Soto is making in his 15 years from the Mets. Just let that
Yikes.
sink in. You would have to live and work 40 hours a week for 50,000 years. So just think about that. Thank goodness none of us make a minimum wage, but yeah, that's pretty crazy.
What places still like
How do you even live? I think minimum
who
wage is
even
literally
hires at minimum? I don't know any place that can even like start you out at minimum
yeah,
wage because you can just go to McDonald's and make $10 an hour, even
exactly.
as like a high school kid. So like, who is
Paying that or even able to keep workers there because you could
right?
go
Yeah,
anywhere else. Yeah, I
because
don't
even
know.
like servers, like they don't make minimum wage. They make like the like $2.38 an hour or something like that, and then they keep their tips. And
Yeah, yeah,
servers is a
yeah.
whole weird thing. But yeah, no, I don't even get how like when you apply for a job and they say, okay, we're going to start you at minimum wage, why you would even say yes. And I don't even know what jobs give that out.
And I just feel like if someone ever did work minimum wage, it's gotta be a high school kid, like, just, making a little side cash while they're still in school. Like, you can't be, a parent with, like, 3 or 4 kids with like, it's just
No,
impossible in this
that would be
yeah.
impossible.
Let me see what the
speaking
highest yeah, go
speaking
ahead.
as somebody with 3 kids, yeah, no, minimum
Yes,
wage is not that's not a doable thing.
not doable.
Kids are expensive.
As of January 1st, 2024, the highest minimum wage in the United States is in Washington, D.C. at 17. So just in that section, I guess, like the Washington, D.C. area, it's $17 per an hour. So there you go. California is 16, New York is 16. It kind of makes sense. These are like some of the highest places. But the federal minimum wage is 7.25. It hasn't increased since 2009. So there you go. Okay, just wanted to throw that out there. A little fun exercise there for anybody was just wondering how long. And you could probably do this exercise easily with your own
Job,
pay
yeah.
rate, and it would probably make you very sad. So maybe don't do that.
Yeah, maybe don't.
Maybe don't. But real quick, I had a funny story, and then we could also kick off the some of the shenanigans and sports stories that we got going on. But so Tinsley, when is the last time, or is there anything that comes to mind when cooking? Because you out of the three of us you have the most experience with cooking.
Mhm.
You are the grill master, the smoke, like you smoke mac and cheese that is like to die for. So you got all these things that you cook up. Is there any meals that you have like made for dinner for your
Yeah.
family that has been just completely either unedible or just a bad dinner choice in general?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of times I try something new and it's not worked out. But I can think of one story about me and one story about Morgan. I'll throw her under the bus too. I always tell this story, and this was because when me and Morgan first got married, first of all, it's really hard to learn how to cook for just two people.
Yep,
Um, but
I know how that is.
like I've always been the cook. I want to own a food truck someday. That's still like a thing I want to do. I was looking at trucks today on my lunch break because I have to figure out what I'm doing after peak when I'm not driving consistently. I'm just going to be a preloader again. So
Okay,
who
DM
knows?
me. We'll get
Yeah,
that going. You and I.
we need to get our business agents on that. So, but when we first got married, she, one thing that we got from people was like recipe books, and like people would give us like personal recipes, and we tried some out, and this one we really liked it. It was like a hamburger casserole, and it was delicious. I love this thing. And so I always would make it, well, she wanted to make it one time to be, nice because I was working a lot or something, and she accidentally used cinnamon instead of cumin,
Okay.
and
I see
it
where this is
was
going.
the most like. So she warned me, and being the nice husband, new husband trying to earn points, I was like, oh, I'm sure it's fine. Like we'll try it. I knew in my head, I was like, this is gonna be the most awful thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Do you know what
Because
the teaspoon or tablespoon measurement? Because that also has a lot to do with it. Was it like a 2 teaspoon type of
no, it
deal?
was like yeah, it was probably a 4 tablespoon type deal. Maybe not four. It was a lot. Um, and this casserole is cheese, ground hamburger, different seasonings, and then chopped up dill pickles on top, and like a secret sauce, like the mayonnaise base, like
Yeah.
what they put on hamburgers. And I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And I took a bite. I could smell the cinnamon from the plate, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. And it took everything I had just to swallow one bite of it. And I mean, it made a big casserole pan. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was, we had to throw that away, and that was pretty bad.
Was she able
Um,
to eat it? Did she try it, or
no,
did she after
no,
she looked at
no.
you?
I told her not to. I was like, if we threw it away, we probably went to Zaxby's if I had to guess. Um, that was back in our first apartment, that little one on Benton Young, all
Yep.
500 square feet of it.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, so that's probably one of my first ones. That's funny. And then recently, this was last week. Uh, Found a new recipe on TikTok, and it's like you take a pie crust and make calzones at home.
sounds pretty
Um,
good.
yeah,
I'm here for it.
fill it up, and you fold them and you bake it. Well, I let it bake too long, and I guess the grease kind of oozed out of the cheese, and it absolutely scorched the bottom of these things. Like
Mm,
they were black, and like as black as my hoodie. And I was like, well, we'll just try them, and we're like powering through, not really saying anything. Like I was like, oh, this is bad, but it was so late, like we couldn't really do anything else. And Macy
yeah.
was like, let me try a bite, and she took a bite of it and went, bleh. She goes, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my life. And so I just thought that was funny. That I was like, yeah, I was trying to eat it and not say anything, but Macy was gonna let us know that
For
it's bad.
sure. Yeah, that's too good. So was just the bottom like where you were trying
Yeah.
to eat even the top, like avoid the bottom part, and it was
Yeah.
still
It was just, you
just
could just
yeah,
taste it. It just was
yeah.
bad.
It was already through the whole thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I was asking is, so I'll tell. I have a couple stories as well. And this made me think. You were talking about when you all first got married, Jalen and I, when we first got married, and we were living in our own apartment. And it's like one of those things where you want to, like, now that you have your own space for the first time with your own kitchen, you want to cook,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to cook more. And so one of our favorite soups from Olive Garden is the chicken gnocchi. And so we were trying to make that one time. We found a recipe, and it's one of those things, potato gnocchi is not cheap. It was like 14 $15. First of all, our number one mistake is we went to Food City because it was just down the road.
Mm-hmm.
We probably spent like 40 $50 just to make this chicken gnocchi. I can't believe how expensive it. Yes. And you're slicing the carrots and you're cutting the celery. You're everything's basically by hand, and then you cook it all day in the crock pot. So then it's supposed to be done, and we open up the lid, and it is watery, like as water. It's as water could be. The soup is, and no, it's not thick whatsoever. So we were looking up how to do this, and it was just like how to thicken it up, and it was like just add cornstarch. So we add a
Oh
little bit of
no.
cornstarch, and then we add more cornstarch. Do you know how to thicken it up? You have to like turn the heat back on. So since it was in a crock pot,
Yeah.
it was like just a medium heat. I think you have to heat it up. I think we looked it up later. I think you have to like heat it back up with the cornstarch added in to thicken it up. So because it was already at a lower temp, it wasn't thickening up. Kept adding until all you tasted was cornstarch.
Oh no.
So we threw this whole thing away and went to McDonald's and got McDonald's.
There you go.
but it was one of those things where, and you know me, I'm cheap. So cheap. So
Gosh,
I
50.
was
I mean, all those ingredients. I mean, you're right. Those are pretty expensive
because it was like
ingredients.
cream, like things that we didn't already have. Like we had to buy
Right.
every ingredient. Like it had the cream with it, and all the cheeses and just everything. The gnocchi was expensive, chicken. So
Yeah.
all those different spices or spices. You've seen our spice cabinet. We got like five. It's because all of a sudden we're like, oh, we need to buy this spice, and we never use it again except for that one recipe.
Yeah.
And
Morgan's bad
so
about that.
yeah, it's like
That and barbecue sauce. There,
yeah,
there was a stretch there where every time she would do a Walmart delivery or grocery shop delivery, it would either every time she would order something with a barbecue sauce thing and a peanut butter. I was like, Morgan, how much barbecue sauce and peanut butter are we going through on a weekly basis? Apparently, like I still have barbecue sauces. I think I have like 3 under there right now that are still not opened. And I, as much as I like smoke meats and do barbecue stuff, you would think we'd be out, but no. But I've told her, I'm like, you're not allowed to order them again until like I've cleared it. I have to have
yeah.
clearance.
I remember seeing like this Vine or maybe it was a TikTok. I think it was a Vine. And it was like when you're a kid and it was like the most random things in the fridge and then all of these sauces and it's in the door of like your fridge. Like
Yeah.
we've all been there. And now I understand why. We always buy like a sauce or a spice and
Yeah.
use it for one thing and one
I'm
thing only. And
I'm
then
really
it's like
bad about the sauces. I like
yeah,
trying new ones too. Like I
yeah.
have like the Taco Bell sauces or like a different I like all the Kinders like different they have barbecue sauces, but they also have just like different dipping sauces. And I'm always trying new ones and I'm like, "Oh, the fridge door is full and now I have to throw things away."
You got yellow mustard, you got Dijon mustard, you got spicy mustard, you got brown mustard, and then you got your ketchup. And then for some reason you accidentally bought the sugar free or the low sodium of something. So then you just have that sitting in the
I
fridge.
did
It's
that.
just
I don't like ketchup. But I bought the sugar-free one, I
yeah.
guess,
And then it just
on
sits in there.
accident. Yeah, no. And Morgan and Macy eats chicken nuggets and french fries on a regular basis. All the parents out there can judge me all they want. But she likes ketchup. And so I thought so we always buy the big one. We don't ever buy like just a little one, and I bought the wrong one apparently. And Macy and Morgan are like, "This is the most disgusting thing ever," so I had to throw it away, and it was like
Mm,
$7.
yep, that's the worst. Or the fat-free ranch on accident. No one buys that on purpose. It's always because they
Nobody.
have a little tiny bubble in the corner that says fat-free, and you just grab one because you're in a way of 89-year-old Susie that's also trying to get ranch. So you just grab like you grab one because you're in the way of grandma trying to get one, and you're like, oh crap, I just bought the fat-free on accident.
Do you like going in and grocery shopping?
Okay, so here's the issue. I used to, and this is going to sound so bad. I used to until, especially Walmart, with all
Mhm.
the workers that are in your, like, and I know this sounds bad, but they all have their AirPods in and they're all 18 years old and they do not care. And they get it. I feel like I have to work more. Even the parking spots in front of Walmart, they block those off for the
The
pickup
pickup,
orders.
yeah.
So now I have to work. I literally like wanted to park in one of those one time because I was like, "You're telling me I have to park further away because I'm going into work for it to get my own groceries instead of like the people that don't have to do anything and they just get to pull in one." I know it's for the workers. It's not necessarily like so they don't have to like walk far away. But anyways,
Yeah.
now it's just one of these things where, and I don't know where anything's at. I actually have to get on the app because and maybe it's just a Walmart issue because I feel like everything else like is a little bit easier. Like all these isn't bad. I don't mind going in there, but I feel like
Mhm.
Walmart's changed things so many times that I have to look up where is this located, and it will tell me the aisle. And still sometimes, maybe it's just me getting old and not knowing, but I'm just like I don't even know where this is, and I'm down the right aisle. So I don't know. Do
Yeah.
you?
Oh,
Does
yeah.
anybody?
I love it. I
Do you know what I mean about the workers though now? It's bad with their
Yeah.
big
And they're
buggies in the way.
they're doing all the pickups, yeah.
Yeah, with the
Um,
pickups.
I I like whenever we do like our weekly normal groceries delivered. I don't want to do that shopping, but like when I'm normally like on Fridays, and it's changed now a little bit with peak, and I'm driving more for UPS. But I would like on Friday afternoons after I'd get off at Blue Coast, I'd text Morgan like, "Hey, I want to smoke this on the smoker this weekend." So then I would just go just get all the stuff I needed for that and do all the different seasonings or whatever meat it was or sauce or what all those ingredients. And then you're like, oh, look at this cool snack I haven't seen. So I like to do that kind of. I like to do grocery shopping
It's like
that's
the rummaging
unnecessary.
through the yes,
Yeah.
there you go.
Finding new things, not necessary stuff. Because if Morgan sends me there for the list, I'm gonna forget stuff every time,
Yep.
no matter what.
Yeah. No, I think for me, it's so much work, and I don't. We have done the pickup before. The only issue is if you have something specific, then it's like, for instance, you're wanting. I know this is for me and Tens because we used to work or working at Blue Coast. But avocados, if you're wanting one, like if you're wanting to use it that next day or that day of, you need one that's super soft, and like a majority of them are like they're gonna just pick one out, and it's probably not gonna be ready for another 5 or 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like one of those things. If you need something specific in the produce or something that's not going to expire in the meats, like in 2 days or something, then you need to go pick it yourself. That's the only thing. So, but back to so tonight we did a crock pot recipe, and I found it, and it was potatoes, carrots, and pork chops all in the crock pot. So basically, what it is you just cut up the potatoes, you throw the carrots in there, and you throw the pork chops on top, covered in seasoning. So I did all that, and you pour. So this is the most important part. You take chicken broth and you pour it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. The potatoes are on the bottom with the carrots, and it's sitting in the chicken broth. But guess what is not sitting on anything? The pork chops are like elevated up. So
Right.
8 hours on low. It was actually 9 or 10 because I cooked them early this morning, and I got home at like 6:30. And these pork chops are burnt, or not burnt, but they are cooked. And here's the thing: they fell apart so easily, like forks just fell apart. But it was the driest and
Yeah.
chewiest pork chop I've ever had. And I think, and the potatoes were amazing. They were super soft, mush, and they had like that good flavor to them. I guess but I think my number one issue, and it was on like we covered it in A1 steak sauce so that we could eat it. That's how dry it was. But she was a trooper for eating my cooking. But that was the one that, like, it's probably been about 3 or 4 times where we this one was actually like, it was hard to, but it was actually kind of edible. And to be honest, the rest of it we're just gonna give it to Thanos. But it was that bad. But I was like, now that makes sense because it probably was because it wasn't in the chicken broth, so it was
Yeah.
just setting above it all, and so it was like, I think I needed to immerse it in chicken broth in order, or
Yeah, it would have
something,
sucked up some
water or
of that.
whatever.
Yeah. Or if you would have put like some I would
I
have
did
put like
butter. I did like
you
a
put
thing
like
of a slice
butter
of
on
butter
top
on
of
each
them.
one. Yeah, but it just wasn't enough. I
Yeah.
don't think that was
Yeah,
the issue.
pork chops they get dry really fast. Pork can
Well,
do that to you pretty quick.
I am 0 for 2 on my pork chops because I tried to do a one that was like had a breading around it, and it was
Uh-huh.
so chewy, and it was not good either. So maybe I just need to stay away from pork chops, or
Pork chops
maybe
are
you could just,
tough.
yeah, I bet. My dad used to make them like they were so good, and it was just over like the stovetop or whatever. But anyways, so there was my story
That's funny.
for the day. Yeah. Tough
I
break.
hate
It
when a
really
crock
takes a
pot
hit at
meal.
your ego a little bit because you're like, oh, I know how to cook, and then you're like,
Yeah.
nope. The universe reminds you that you're not.
Cooking can humble you real quick. And then you're just like, well, crap, now I have to eat cereal for dinner
Yeah,
or something not as
or
good.
go to McDonald's or make a peanut butter
I
sandwich.
don't know.
Been there, done
Once
that.
I'm home, there's just no going back out.
Yeah, I'm the same
We
way. I
both
do
live
not.
so far away from stuff. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
and we're probably about 5 minutes from Dollar General, and Jalen will even suggest, well, let's go to, and I'm like, nope. And she's like, it's only 5 minutes. I'm like, I get it, but I'm content with staying home. I don't even
Yeah.
want to go to Dollar General and deal with that. So
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Okay, so some food news, and then we'll get to some sports. Well, I guess that was already food news, but that was personal food news. This is kind of old news. Like, I'm behind on this, but I'm not getting to talk to you about this. But Chick-fil-A dropped some peppermint their peppermint menu
Mhm.
for the holidays, and I didn't know. I know you're a big peppermint guy, so I didn't know if you've tried any of this yet or if you've heard
Um,
about it.
yeah, I've tried the frosted coffee. I mean, I like. Okay, so this is where I'm at with most places that do peppermint.
Okay, I'm listening.
Is that I'm really more of like a mint chocolate fan than I
Okay,
am
the
anything else. The
peppermint.
peppermint is a little bit different. It's fine. Um, I
I
don't really
misunderstood.
I don't really like it with like cold products, like a milkshake or iced coffee or something like that. I would rather have it like in a hot chocolate. I think
Yeah,
it's good there. Um, and there's not really a big like a huge difference between chocolate mint and peppermint, but there's enough where I'm like, I'm not gonna go out of my way and like freak out about it. Most places have really dove into cookie butter this season.
mm,
I had a fire cookie butter cold foam iced coffee from Dunkin' this morning. And yes, I'm an iced coffee guy. I don't really like hot coffee. But iced coffee is my jam even
that
now
does.
still.
Yeah, no, that does sound the cookie butter. I'm all in on that stuff. I could.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Also, random. We were talking about peppermint. When's the last time you've had a candy cane? Someone from our work brought in like a ton of candy canes. I was like, I
Yeah.
cannot tell you the last time I've had one.
I don't know.
Did you ever do the thing where you made it sharp on the end and cut your
Mhm.
tongue? Because we were
Mhm.
talking about that when we were kids. Like, I think every kid
Done that.
has done that for sure. I
Yeah.
wonder how many ER visits there are of like some kid like slicing open because those suckers. We had a coworker. It could be used as a weapon. Like if a zombie came in, that would probably be my first weapon at the time. Is just grab that. But that was just a random thing there.
Mm.
Okay, so also random thing. If I know what you can get everybody for Christmas, Chick-fil-A is selling sandwich Christmas ornaments, and it's literally the bag, just like as an ornament. And then they also have this like Christmas cow plush. But that's like what that's literally it's the like the Christmas or it's the chicken sandwich bag on a and it's an ornament. So
Hmm.
there you go. Your Christmas gifts for everybody. I saved Christmas this year,
Thank
so
you. Mason is saving Christmas.
that's right.
I
That's
want to like Chick-fil-A more than I do. It's just
but you just can't. Well, the pimento cheese, I feel like gotcha
I
on a
did
new
like that.
level.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that was a big deal.
I like their food. I'm just always so hungry that
Yeah,
I think I have s I think there's
the
something
tapeworm.
wrong with me. I don't know, dude. I packed 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for work this morning, right? Had a
Yep.
couple little mini bags of chips, a pack of peanut butter crackers, a fruit roll up, and a banana. And I ate all that on my way up on my route because I had to drive for an hour. And I was like, well, I'm hungry. I'll go ahead and eat while I'm driving. I ate all of that. And then after about like 45 minutes of delivering, I'm like, I'm still really hungry. So I took my lunch break and ate a full, like, I spent $17 at Burger King kind
Mm.
of food. Like, I think I'm just like,
And I've known you to be this way
my,
my whole life. I've known you the 10 plus years. How long has it been at this point? It's been a
yeah,
long time.
it's been a long
12
time.
years,
And I can
13 years.
still eat. Like, I thought as I got older that I would stop eating this way.
Nope.
Mason, I ate 2 frozen pizzas the other night.
I believe it. I'm
We
not
had
shocked
we had
whatsoever.
2, and Morgan was like, "I'm not really hungry." I was like, "Okay, well, you'll eat some of it. I'll make both of them." She ate 1 piece, and then I crushed 2 Red Barons by myself, and then I had
Well,
some ice cream.
probably one thing that I was like, man, this is entertaining to watch is when we were on the cruise ship together, seeing how much you could eat there because it's all fair game. It's all
Yes.
like it's all you can eat. And you really, that's probably the day that they were like, okay, we got to put that guy on our list and make
Yeah,
sure we
I
don't
would go to
have him come back.
the Guy Burger place
Yeah.
and get a burger and fries and finish that, and then they had a taco place next to it, and I'd get
Yep.
a burrito and chips and salsa, and I'd eat that, and then I'd go get some more fries from Guy's Burgers, and I was like, something wrong with me. And I'm not fat. Like, I'm not skinny, obviously, but I should be fatter.
And then you'd be like, all right, guys, you want to hit the buffet? And we're like, we just ate 30 minutes ago. Oh, yeah, you're right. I guess I'll go by myself.
I don't know.
You never said that, but
There
I could see
has to be a
you.
creature inside of me that eats this or something. It gets to a point where like I'm not full. I just get tired. Like I'm just like, all right, I'm just tired of eating.
Well,
I ate
we
4 bowls of potato soup the other night. Morgan made potato soup. It was fire. And I ate 4 bowls of it. And she was like, "Did you not eat today?" I was like, "Yeah, no, I ate.
okay.
I'm just out of control. I don't know."
So we'll set up that doctor's appointment to see if you have a
I want to
tapeworm.
do a food challenge.
Yes.
We need to get
Yeah.
to
What's
one.
taking us so long? I know we've talked about this ever
All the
since
ones
we
close
started the
to us
pod.
suck. There's like the one in Cook, like the All Good Diner does that burger one, but I know that's gonna be gross. That burger's gonna be dry. The bun is gonna suck. It's a giant amount of
We got to go to
tomatoes.
Nashville. That's what it is. We got to
I
go to
want to do a
Nashville.
pizza one. I think a pizza
Yep.
one would be good.
Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you, Tens, if it's one of those like that takes up the whole table and you pick 3 of your closest friends to do it with you, I'm sorry, but if you want to win, you can't
I can't
pick
pick
me
you. I
unless
know.
unless there's no time limit. Unfortunately, like
I
you'll have
know.
to pick somebody else. It cannot be me.
You eat in
So
like spurts.
that's all it is. Yep.
It's like
It's
15
a marathon.
minutes, and then 45 minutes later, like, all right, I'm hungry again.
That's exactly what it is. Okay, let's see what else I had on this list. Have you seen this? The Sam's Club. I think I thought I was getting fooled by the internet, but it's a real thing. But it's only at selected locations.
No, I haven't seen
There is
this.
a holly dog, like it's a holiday themed hot dog at select locations for Sam's Club. This looks gross. It also looks cropped. Like this doesn't look real.
Oh
There
no.
is a holiday mashup, a hot dog topped with mashed potatoes and Christmas cookie. I'm not kidding. Like, but I looked. This is like a real thing. I think it's like
Ew.
so. I figured out why they're doing this. It's they are doing customize your own hot dog. There's one hot dog topped with turkey and prime rib roast and gravy.
That's
Let's see.
gross.
It was limited cities. The first event was in New York. We missed our Broadway in Nashville on December 9th. We missed it. What a bummer.
Dang.
And then the Plaza in Dallas on December 12th. But it was that. Like, these look fake. This one's called Frankly Both, and it's a hot dog topped with pumpkin pie and candy canes.
No, thank you.
You wouldn't eat any of that? You said food challenge. Let's bring it on.
Yeah, not gross stuff.
Okay, and then last thing I had, please tell me you've seen this. I'm so excited. So starting December 9th already happened. Fans will be able to vote and decide which previously released Blizzard will make its triumph return in 2025. To vote, you need to download the Dairy Queen app and sign up for the free rewards program. This is meant, there's no other choice here. You know where I'm going with this. We've talked about this. The S'mores Blizzard.
S'mores. What else is on the list though? Or
Georgia mud pie or Georgia mud fudge. I've never had it or never even heard of it.
I've never heard of that one.
The description is perfect for chocolate lovers. The Georgia mud fudge blizzard combines the chain's fudge sauce with the brownie chunks and pecan pieces. And then the cappuccino Heath.
That's out like right now. Morgan got it the other day. She says she didn't like it.
Is it? I thought it was just a Heath one, but maybe it is. Okay, well maybe it's a limited time, and they're like, if you want to keep it, but it's meant for the s'mores to come back and hopefully stay forever. So, okay, there's our food news for the day. Any thoughts, questions, comments?
I wish our Dairy Queen would do the app. The one here in Cookville, he doesn't do the app.
Bought it. Yeah, I think someone bought it. I don't know if that changes anything though. Someone
bought the Dairy Queen from
Yeah,
that old dude.
Yeah, I think someone said they sold it. I'll have to double check.
That would be
my
good
sources.
because that guy sucks. he owned both. There used to be a Dairy Queen next to Blue Coast for the longest time,
Yeah, remember that.
and he closed it and made it into like a different kind of restaurant. But like,
It's been the Jinx building. It's been like 80 different things ever
yeah,
since.
but he's a tool bag. Everyone said he was really bad to work for. Like if say you got something wrong at Dairy Queen and you like went to the counter to be like, hey, I ordered a cheeseburger and you guys gave me a chicken sandwich. Like he'd be like, you're lying. Like he was really there's all kinds of Yelp reviews about this guy.
Look
Um,
them up.
and he just would refuse to get the app, which I'm a big there's pretty much
App guy.
not a restaurant. I won't eat anywhere if I can't order it on the app except for Taco Bell, which we all know that. Chronicle. Um,
Yep.
still doesn't work.
Also,
Not
is
even with a
Yelp
gift card. I tried a
not
gift card, didn't work.
unbelievable?
So
Is
they just
is
hate me.
Yelp just for bad? Whoever is like, wow, this was really good sandwich. I'm gonna get on Yelp and talk about how good that. No, it's always like if you have a bad review. Wow, I'm so
Well,
mad about this. I'm gonna get on Yelp. That's literally
if
what it is.
if you're a rewards member, I know this to be true at Blue Coast. You get a $5 reward every month if you leave one good Yelp review.
Okay, I have to keep that in
So there you go.
mind.
I got a compliment on there one time.
Nice.
It
Look
got
at you.
posted on the bulletin board.
It's a big deal.
It's not.
It's not, he says. Okay, so let's jump into some sports because I know you wanted to go over some things. I'll kick us off with let's go. We had some shakeup on our the Titans Jags matchup. I know you
What a
guys talked about
matchup.
it last. Yeah, I know you guys talked about it last week, but I know you wanted to talk about the race to the first overall pick and just draft positions in general. So I also looked up some percentages according to like ESPN, who's going to be ranked first overall, and give you all the records right now. But go ahead and let's just have Tinsley go on a rant or have him break down what he thinks about the what he wants to talk about with the first overall pick. So go ahead, Tins.
There's a lot of discourse from Jags fans this week.
Mm-hmm.
We lost the first overall pick by winning. And I didn't
Mm.
really know how to feel about this. Um, and then I remembered that we were playing the Titans, and I hate the Titans. And anytime I've said it once, I've said it a million times. If we go 2-15 in a season, and those two wins were the Titans, then I'm a happy guy. Um, now I need to move past that in life because it's time to start thinking about Super Bowls, Jacksonville, and not just about being the Titans. So I'm happy we won the game, but what I don't want to see happen is us mess around these last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, including this last one against the Titans, because our schedule is very easy. We play the Jets, which we'll talk about the Jets here in a second. Play the Raiders, we play the Colts, and then we play the Titans again. The last thing on God's green earth I need to happen is the Jags to get hot right now and win a bunch of these games, and for some stupid reason we keep Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke, and just the owner says, you know what, guys, I realize it was, Trevor was hurt a lot of the year. I get why we weren't good. Let's run it back. Because if that happens, somebody's going to die. Figuratively speaking, no one call it. I'm not really going to hurt anyone. Parody law, parody law. It's a
There you go.
podcast.
Okay,
Podcast.
I was like, fix this.
This is
You got it.
comedy.
We're in the clear now. We're good. It's all for
So
comedy purposes.
all
Yes,
for
go ahead.
comedy purposes, but I will murder somebody. Somebody will get injured by my hands. Because I promise you, if Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson are around together running my team next year, I will rage. Um, and what really sucks is we're playing the Raiders, who are tanking. We're
Mm,
playing the Jets, who see. Here's the thing: we can win one more game, and it's the Jets. We'll pivot to that because Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show today, if you're listening,
mm,
this was Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day he shows up and has his hour-long special on the Pat McAfee show where they all kiss his butt and act like he's God's gift to the earth and to media and to the NFL. NFL is doing fine before you. Aaron Rodgers is going to do fine without you.
mm-hmm.
Um, No one cares about your stupid Netflix show where you take ayahuasca and trip and you're a weird hippie. But this guy, I don't know if he knows this, but his team sucks. And he has played god awful all year. And this man had the audacity to say, "We will not lose to the Jaguars this week. And if we
Mm,
do, I will retire on the spot. There's only so much a man can take." Mason, what's the Jets record?
3-10.
Hey, Mason, what is the Jacksonville Jaguars record?
The answer is 3-10.
Wow. So this guy is going to act like he is so superior to us and act like losing to us is some unimaginable thing. It's the NFL, buddy. They get paid to play football too. Um, so this will be the last game I'm rooting for a win because I want him. I want him to have to answer that question. I want him to literally be like, "Oh, I was just joking." Like I hope Josh Hines Allen, and Trayvon Walker just bully him the whole game and talk so much
Whole
trash.
game.
This game I'm looking forward to watching. And that's the first time I could say that in a while this season.
What's the point spread on this?
Jets
It's
-4.
it's Jets -3 right now.
It's in Jacksonville.
Yep.
If I know our fans, we're gonna have some funny signs.
The only thing is the cameras probably won't
Yeah, they won't show them because
won't
they're
show 'em.
cowards. It'll be
So
out.
here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers needs to take a page out of Jason Kelsey's book on learning from your mistakes. If you ever
Yep.
cross tens, he will forever and always
Yep.
have you on his list. He will never
Yep.
forgive you. Tinsley still, talks trash about him to this day in the group text or just on the pod. And it's
Jason
just
Kelsey
all
is a
from that one
scumbag.
There you go. See, it's still
And now
going.
Aaron Rodgers is. Aaron Rodgers thinks he is so much better than our organization. Guess what, Aaron? You're not as important as you think you are. You were supposed to be Mr. the greatest arm talent and Mr. greatest quarterback in the NFL. You got one Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Eli Manning has more Super Bowls than you, pal.
This is also true. 3-10, not looking good. Okay, so I wanted to talk about it real quick, and then we can move on. The according to ESPN, and these are just their percentages, so don't get mad at me. There's only two teams that have a 2-11 record. That would be the Giants and the Raiders. However, the Giants have the highest percentage of winning the first overall pick at a 41% chance. They even benched Drew Lock because he almost won them the game last week uh, to put Tommy DeVito back in there. So that's how hard they're tanking. Patriots 23% chance to get the first overall pick. The Panthers 10% chance. The Raiders 10%, 10.2, and the Jags 5.6 after their wonderful win. And then the Titans 3.9. So
Yeah.
then you got the Browns in there, the Jets, the Bears, the Saints. But if it makes you feel any better, the Jags and the Titans both have over 90% chance to get in the top 10.
Ooh.
96 for you guys, 94.6 for the Titans. So top 10 at least, according to ESPN. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If the Raiders keep doing what they're doing, I don't know why they're giving such a low chance. They have three teams above them.
Yeah,
Your
especially with their
Shador
quarterback
Sanders,
situation because
Ritter, right?
it's Ritter now because Aiden O'Connell broke his leg.
Mm,
Minshew's been out.
yeah,
And yeah, so it's going to
that's
be
that.
Ritter. And then they brought up Gus Bradley's son. He is now the backup quarterback. Gus Bradley, the famous defensive coordinator for the Colts. That's a guy I hope never loses his job. I love playing the Colts. Yeah, so I don't know. I think the Raiders. I called my shot a while ago in group text, but I think Deion Sanders and Shador Sanders are coming to the Raiders.
You heard it here first, everybody. Listen, we need to get our tech guy to rally all the clips of you actually getting predictions right it's way more than you think it would be, especially like some off season stuff. It's pretty wild. So I'm writing this one down in
Yeah,
the
I went and
books
looked
here.
at some Future Fridays clips. Jets. I gave out Jets under as a pick. Guess
That's,
what?
that's
Cash money in your face, Aaron Rodgers, you
pretty
stupid
easy.
idiot. Um, yeah,
There's
I
some
need
good
to.
Ones.
There were some other ones in
We
there.
need
I
to
wrote
go
them
look
down.
back. Yeah, we need to
Yeah,
write all these down for the future. Okay, so let's tie a bow up, tie a bow on this episode here with some Bill Belichick because it's breaking.
Billy
It's already
B.
broke. Yep. So
Yeah,
you
it's
want
official.
to? It's
Yeah,
official
so
now.
he is. I don't know. This is a weird move to me. It's a move I'm glad happened. Honestly, Uh, Bill Belichick has signed a contract to go be the new head coach at North Carolina. This is a guy I thought would land. I thought Bill was pretty dead set on coming back to NFL. He's pretty close to the all time wins record. So I thought that was going to be like what he aimed to do, and maybe he still has that in his sights. Um, One of the more crazy contracts for a college coach I've ever seen. Um,
Mm,
with his stipulations. So one of them, details are coming out, but the NIL went from $4 million a year to 20. Um, his son is appointed head coach in waiting, uh, which is I don't I don't hate. He's a good coach. I mean, he was the defensive coordinator for the Patriots for a while. He's the defensive coordinator for the um, Washington Huskies this year. You can cry nepotism all you want. That is what football is. If you look at Kyle Shanahan, his dad is the whole reason he is a head coach, and his dad hired all his buddies: Sean McVay, Mike McDaniel's, uh, all those guys are all Kyle Shanahan's friends that his dad hired on to be on staff, and then they all turned out to be awesome coaches, and they're coaching everywhere. But the NFL, as far as coaching goes, it is nepotism. So I don't really have a big issue with that. I'm surprised that a college agreed to do that because Bill could say in 2 years, all right, bye, I'm going back to the NFL to chase the wins record, and now my son is the head coach. And then one more thing about this that's kind of crazy, and he's like openly, it's like a quote. He said, I'm not chasing a national title right now. What I am going to chase and what I am going to tell recruits is that if you want to go to the NFL, I'm going to just we're going to churn out NFL talent.
mm,
You want to be ready to go play in the NFL, come play for me and I'll get you there and I'll get you drafted. And that's an interesting take because I think that could really work because who
and
better
it's
than Bill Belichick to get you
himself. It's a good point.
prepped and get on a roster? And that's what all these guys are chasing at the end of the day. They can say they love their college, like they have, they grew up an Ohio State fan and it means a lot to be a Buckeye and this, that, and the other thing. Nope. I think these kids care about two things: making a lot of money in NIL while they're in college, or maximizing their exposure and their talent to get drafted to go have a long NFL career. Like that's what these guys are aiming for. And if Bill can like sell these kids like on that, he might mess around and get like a loaded team very quickly. And the timing of this isn't surprising either because the transfer portal is about to open.
Yeah.
So I think they're about to go crazy.
Probably. The crazy part of all this, and you said it already, that he's setting it up for his son, so it does make sense. But the fact that Bill Belichick is 72 years old and he'll be 73 by the time the season starts for North Carolina, it's just like, they just never want to stop working, I guess. They never want to retire. It's like Saban. It's like, oh, I get it. He finally wants to like retire and enjoy being retired, and then he goes into the TV deal which I get. He only has to work like works clearly not as much as he did as a coach, but still, it's
Right.
like none of them want to just like the TV deal money is probably very sweet. The amount of time that you spend on that compared to a coach is probably not even close, but. Um, yeah, I think who do we think of? Saban does that. They get the NFL talent ready, and then I was gonna say Kentucky for basketball. I feel like everybody was going there to try to get into the NBA.
Yeah.
Those were my
And
thoughts. So
yeah, there's some programs like that's I mean, Saban did it, but he also won a lot. So I don't
yeah.
know. I'll be interested to see how it works out. I'm glad it happened because the rumor was the Jags were the only NFL team willing to give Belichick all the power he was asking for.
Mm,
Um, I didn't want to sign up for that.
yeah.
So now I don't have to worry about it. Um,
Was it
it
Zach's
is.
predict? Well, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's just crazy that North Carolina fires Mac Jones, 74-year-old Mac Jones, to hire 72-year-old Bill Belichick.
It's crazy. Got a little bit younger, I guess.
I
Was
guess.
it Zach's prediction to have Vrabel and Bill Belichick together? Because now, unless Vrabel
No, that
goes
was
to North
mine.
Carolina,
I thought they were a package deal
yeah, could have been.
where where Belichick was going to take over as a GM for a team and Vrabes was going to be the head coach. So I guess I'll take the second half of that equation and I'll just take Vrabel if I have to as
I
my
don't think it's
new
a.
head coach.
I don't think that's a bad. That's an upgrade for sure,
I
in
would
my opinion.
love that. I would love a
Okay,
leader of men.
there you go. He, ha-
I would love Mike Vrabel to be the Jaguars' next head coach.
I
That
don't.
would
I
go over
think
so well in all of our group texts.
I was gonna say. I think you're being sarcastic. Maybe.
No, I want it bad.
I thought you
He's
wanted Ben Johnson. Make up your mind.
Yeah, Ben Johnson's the number one.
Yeah. Okay.
But if I
Wow.
can't have Ben Johnson,
You heard it here first, everybody. This is shocking news.
it's
We've
Mike
talked about some
Vrabel.
crazy stuff right now, but this is shocking.
Mike
Okay.
Vrabel would just bring. He'd be the alpha male, bring the brand of football. Like
It's like the
no more
Dan Campbell.
nonsense. No, yeah, exactly. I want no more of this just lame Weenie Hut Jr. coaching. Let's be men. Let's play football. Let's stop taking pop shots at Trevor Lawrence in press conferences. Doug Peterson, you nerd. He's your stupid visor. Um, yeah, all those things.
Nothing beats a Tyler Tinsley exclusive Jags rant,
Oh, it's not
especially when
jokes.
he's frustrated. Huh? Especially
I,
when he's frustrated.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying what we're all saying on Twitter. We're all tired of it.
Tired of it. All right. Well, I think that's a perfect way to end this episode. Any other thoughts, Tins? Nope.
No, I mean I have millions of thoughts, but
Well,
save them for
we
another
could keep
day.
the okay. It sounds like a plan. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We appreciate you guys tuning in each and every episode. Check us out on socials. Check us out on the Discord. Tens, how's the bets going on Discord?
I've not really bet much this week. College basketball has like a weird dip where this like the feast week happened, lots of games, and then before conference play really opens, they don't play a lot of games right now. So I'm picking and choosing my spots. I'm not going to force picks. But make sure you're in there. Weekends are still going good. Bowl games. Me and Zach are definitely going to have bowl game predictions. We did a contest last year. I need to talk to him and see if we want to do that again this year. I think
Yes.
we finished like tied because we didn't tell
Yeah,
each other our picks, and then we ended up picking like almost everything the same.
I remember
Which
that. That was pretty funny.
that was
He
funny.
kept finishing with "Oh, dang it." He would always
Yeah,
say something like that. It's pretty funny. Yeah, you guys didn't even share notes and you would pick the same thing. It's pretty funny.
but we did well.
All right,
So
maybe yeah, that's something to look forward to with the bowl games coming up. So, all right, well, we appreciate everybody listening in. You guys have a great rest of the week and we will catch you on Monday.